Amazing, amazing, amazing. A very good morning from wherever you're watching us from, and welcome to the Relationship Talk Show with Miss Sylvia Wanja. Now, I trust and hope that you've had a beautiful morning, umeamka vizuri, and again, as we always say, as we always insist, sezi imekuwa hata wimbo. Ukiamka, amka na asante, amka na shukrani, and then talk to God. Ask Him to order your steps, to guide your everyday move. Whatever it is that you're going to do, watch it in line with His purpose, in line with His will. It's what you're just living for the sake of, but it's important for your life to have meaning. It's important for your life to have purpose, okay? Amazing. So today being the 10th of June, 2025, we are glad to have you here. We're going to have an amazing time all the way till 10, so make sure that you tag along. And remember, today is an African Tuesday. So if you have any song whatsoever, an African song, inaweza kuwa si ya lugha ya Kenya, whatever song it is that you have, send it our way as a request, and we'll have a chance to play that towards the end of the show, okay? And again, you can follow MBCI TV across all social media platforms. And remember, MBCI is a big family comprising of both TV and radio. So kama labda unatoka unaelekea kazini, you won't be able to follow through with what we are doing on TV, don't worry. You can tune into radio squeezing unaanga watu neka headphones, ama neka earphones, and even as you're going about your everyday routine, you're just listening and also getting enriched, empowered by this information. We're in the digital age. Information now iko kila mahali. Now, it's up to you to decide what kind of information you want to take in. Is it good? Is it bad? Okay? And we are here to make sure that, to make sure that even though you're getting the bad information during just on social media, we're here to counter it with something that will be impactful in your life in the long run. Okay? Amazing. So, an amazing thing I learned over the weekend that I think I would like to share with everyone about the art of letting go. Now, sometimes things happen to us, ama we hold on to so much baggage, we get to a point whereby we don't even move forward. We don't even get a chance to be able to thrive kwa sababu we are carrying so many burdens from our past. Maybe you're coming from a point of a childhood trauma. You're coming from a point of broken families, relationships, so many things that are holding you back. But now sometimes, in order for you to move forward to the next step, you need to let go. Let go of the pain, let go of the hurt. And I know it's not easy. It requires some steps like forgiveness, which is, you have to look at things from a point of not judging. Sometimes it's hard not to do that. But with letting go comes opportunities for you to grow and rise above whatever issue it is that you have gone through. So, this beautiful morning, ask God, what area in your life are you feeling like you're holding on to so much baggage? Unaona venye unatumia tuseme simu, alafu ijae so much, systems zinaanza ku break down until you release some things, some cache, some temporary files, so that you can be able to create space for more meaningful things. That's the same case in our lives. If you harbor so much negative things, which is ambazo ni temporary, these things that you can let go of, ask God to guide you, so that you know what area in your life, what things do you need to let go of, create space for bigger things to come your way. Kwa sababu, if you want blessings to come, and already umesha harbor so much negativity inside of you, it's going to be hard, okay? So in everything that you do, make sure that you let go. Ask God akuguide, ujue ni nini, what do you need to let go of? Maybe ni wamse aliku heartbreak, sasa ume hold on to trust issues. God is trying to send you your person, lakini wewe umekwamilia tu hapo hivi kwa niliumizwa, sitaki story. So, yeah, so let it be your wish this morning. Let it be something that you're working towards this morning. Letting go of the negativity, letting go of things that are holding you back, and then looking forward towards growing and becoming a better version of yourself, okay? Amazing. So, today we have an amazing topic. Na siku hizi tunawapeanga spoiler. So, kama unafuatilia MBCI, upande wa Facebook page, we posted about what we're going to be discussing today. Kwa hivyo, wenye wanafuatilia najua already mko na leakage about what we're going to be discussing. But now for those who do not have an idea of what we're going to be discussing, maybe I will let you in on it, Nani, about identity in marriage. Many times you've heard of situations whereby the moment someone gets into marriage, they lose themselves. They get to a point whereby they cease becoming who they were before and take on a new identity. Now we want to look into how far does this change happen when it comes to identity in marriage? Is it change that is positive? Is it change that is negative? Can you still maintain your identity even while being in marriage? Because unajua nasemanga, you come from me to we. So is there a me in marriage? And if there is a me, how do you make sure that there is balance in a way that, yes, you're giving what you ought to give in the marriage, but also retain your identity as a person, okay? That is what we're going to be discussing today. And maybe we can take the question of the day so that we can know what we are interacting on. Ni nini hiyo ambayo tutakuwa tukizungumziana, tukiwasiliana, tuweze kujua what are your opinions. And the question of the day is, should marriage change someone's identity, okay? Should marriage change someone's identity? Share with us your particular opinion on that particular topic. Nani sawa, if you want to remain anonymous, you don't have to put your name on there, but you can do that using by using our number 0721 105 105. That is WhatsApp, and also normal text message 23814 short code, which is absolutely free, and also MBCI TV Facebook page down in the comment section, and MBCI YouTube official down in the comment section. And a little later, we'll be getting a chance to look into that. So without further ado, let us get the guest profile so that we can know who we have with us today.
Miriam Karaoke is a dedicated customer experience manager and seasoned customer service expert with a deep passion for excellence in both personal and professional spheres. Beyond the professional world, she wears many hats: a proud mother of 4, a devoted wife, a content creator, and a worshipper who lives each day with purpose and faith. She is deeply passionate about godly marriages, strives to inspire and encourage others through both her life and online platforms. In her free time, she finds joy in worship, which not only strengthens her spiritual life, but also fuels her creative energy. Whether she's serving in her career or in her calling, her heart is always to uplift, connect, and lead with love.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, MBCI family, I introduce to you none other than Miriam Wanjiku. Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm very much okay. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, thank you too for coming.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it has been a while before we last had you.
Yeah.
So thank you for accepting the invite and being on this seat, especially on this particular topic about identity in marriage.
Sure.
Now, maybe just to echo what we have shared concerning what you do, I'll give you this chance to send shout outs and also reintroduce yourself.
All right.
Yeah.
Hi guys. How are you doing? First of all, I really want to thank you.
Yeah.
You're doing an amazing job.
Thank you too.
You are doing an amazing job.
Yeah.
I'm a follower of this program,
Wow.
the Relationship Tuesday, and I've been seeing what you have been bringing outside here to the society.
Yeah.
And I really love to encourage you and say, keep on.
Wow.
You are a voice that many people outside there, and I would want to say specifically the young people are really listening, because you see sometimes we withhold information, and now the generation that we have, they go get that information from other places. But I normally say, what does the church do about this? Are we giving our young people this information, the true information that is from the word? Because when you bring here men and women from God, of God, that is, they are able to share or to bring out what specifically the Bible says about different things, different topics that you discuss here. So thank you so much for the work you're doing, and thank you for having me here. And guys, I'm here. My name is Miriam Wanjiku Karaoke, and Karaoke is my husband. And I am married for 14 good years. This is our 14th year. I am a mother of 4, 2 preteens, and 2 toddlers. Let me call them toddlers because they are 5 years and below, and 2 toddlers. By the grace of God, I'm also a career woman. The Lord has walked with me a journey of career, and as at now, because I know I'm still moving forward, haijafika mwisho, I serve as the customer experience manager in a health facility here in Nakuru, and I'm so glad that I can be here, that I can serve God, and at the same time, I can be pursuing my career.
Wow, that's amazing. You also forgot to mention something about being a gospel minister. I was looking for that
I'm
bit.
also, oh my God, sorry. I'm also a gospel minister, and I'm also, I don't want to call myself a YouTuber, but I'm also so passionate about marriages and families. So I also have, or we have a YouTube channel, me and my husband. We call ourselves the Manasses. So you can kindly go to the YouTube and just look for the Manasses, follow us, like, subscribe, and see everything that we do there to the glory of God. So all those things, I do them. Mpaka nasahau zingine, imagine.
Yeah. That is really powerful, getting to have so many hats that you put on.
True.
Shows that it's possible for someone to have more than one passion.
It
You
is.
can pursue everything as long as God has imparted you with the strength to actually accomplish all these things. Now, today we're discussing a very awesome topic about identity in marriage.
Yes.
And now maybe we can start from the beginning. When you talk about identity in marriage, at what point or does marriage really change someone's identity?
This is a very interesting topic.
Yeah.
And I'm happy that I am here to share about this and actually out of experience and the things that have made me come this far, being in marriage for 14 years.
Yeah.
I will start by saying it's important to know your identity even before you get to marriage. It's really important to know who you are because marriage will not define you. Your husband or your wife will not define you, but you really need to understand who you are. And we get to know who we are through looking at ourselves, and our mirror is Christ. The Bible defines who we are. The Bible tells us who we are. When the Bible says that we are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a people who are called forth to show the goodness of the Lord, you see? When the Bible talks about, I knew you before you were formed in your mother's womb, it means that your identity does not start from the time you get married. But your identity does not start when you're 20 years old. Your identity does not start when you're 5 years old. But God knew you even before you were formed. So there's something that God knows about you. You are predestined for a purpose. So you come into this world, it's not by accident. So if there's something that I would love us to start with, this topic, is to tell us that we need to know our identity even before we get into marriage. Because the moment we understand who we are, we understand what God says we are, when we get to marriage, we will just take marriage as a step of life. Just the way somebody gets born, and then you go to primary, you go to high school, or you go through your education level. After that, you get married. After that, you become a parent, you become a grandparent, and then maybe later you leave this world. So marriage is just a stage of life where it's not there to define who you are. So it means then you need to, whatever you know God has called you to be, ama your identity in Christ, you need to move with it in every step of your life, in every stage of your life. And now this gets us to your question, does marriage change our identity? I'd love to say sometimes it may. Sometimes it may. And in so many ways. Like, for example, you know, just as you started by saying, when you get married, we move from two to one. So there's the process of becoming one. You see, the Bible talks about, and two shall become one. Not and two shall be one. You know, becoming is a process.
It takes time.
Yes, it's a process.
You grow into it.
There's a process of becoming. So when you get into marriage, there's a lot that changes. That process of becoming changes a lot in us. Of course, there's moving from being I to we. There's moving from being Miriam to Mrs. Karaoke. Okay, it's not moving really, but it's like an additional of a title, an additional of responsibilities, an additional of so many other things, commitment, all those things. So there's an aspect, it's like a transformation that is happening to your life. So, and that does not warrant you to lose your identity. Na hapa ndio sasa challenge inakujanga. Maintaining you and now we or us. It's not really easy. It takes a bit of stretching. It takes a bit of sacrifices and a lot of things. So I would say, yes, marriage to some point, it can change our identities if we are not careful.
And what are some changes maybe that maybe you've noticed in your own experience that they have come about with marriage? What are some of those key changes zenye unaweza sema they just have to happen when it comes to your identity?
Of course, responsibilities, I will say that. Because now when you get married, definitely you become Mrs. Somebody, higher. You start submitting to someone. Remember, you are very much independent before you got married. Now it's about this other person, the submitting part. There's also the part of responsibility. You're now called a mother after a few maybe years or months, something like that. Higher. Besides that, there are some sacrifices you have to make. Maybe, for example, if you want to continue with your education or something like that, you have to do a lot of sacrifices because now you have to align to the goals of the family. You have to sit down, the two of you, and plan. It's no longer about planning my life anymore. It's about our life. It's about our family. If it's about finances, because unajua si ati because kuna provider, sasa niye kila kitu. If it's about finances, every family has the way they handle their finances. But kitambo you used to, this is my salary, this is what I do with my salary, done. But sasa, family has come in. You have to sit down, discuss. Their responsibility, house girl expenses have come in. Shopping expenses have come in more than you used to do before. Sijui mtoto wako hapo, you need to buy clothes for the baby. Higher. When it comes to goals, you have to sit down and discuss. Maybe this is what I want to do in the next 1 year. You have to sit down and agree with your spouse. Is that possible? Maybe if it's something that involves finances, do you have those finances? Maybe if it's something that involves a very tough decision to make, like for example, you're relocating, maybe you want to move to a different town to work. Is it something that will align to your goals or to what you want? So there's a lot in there. So there's a lot of change. But as I said also, when you sit down and you are open and you discuss with your spouse and you are not selfish, you sit down, you discuss, be flexible, and then adapt things. So kuna zile zenye utaachilia, kuna zile zenye
you'll have to stick with them.
Exactly.
And with the coming of these changes, are they supposed to change your identity? Are they supposed to affect your identity? Is there a way to make sure that you draw a line, a boundary to show that they should not change who I am? Just because I am a mother, it shouldn't change who I am.
Of course, which takes me to, it also depends with who you're getting married to.
So who is your partner?
Who is your partner? And these are some of the things that maybe our young people should consider even before engaging into marriage. Who is your partner? Is your partner willing to sacrifice for you? Is your partner willing to ignore or the cultural practices? For example, if you are a career person, maybe a career woman, and maybe you are expected to be at work at a certain time of the day, you need to extend your working hours. Is your husband understanding? Does he think like, hey, that's not my responsibility, that's not my role? So it really depends with who you get married to. I've seen so many people that have entered into marriages and they forget everything about themselves. So they start serving their partner. They start living a life fully dedicated to please their partner. And they completely forget about themselves. So you find someone, you knew them, they were really serving God even before they got married. But after marriage, unamtafuta kwa ministry, unamkosa. Every time you're looking for them, hey mtoto wangu, hey sijui my husband, hey sijui nini, everything. So you tend to lose yourself and you tend to lose your identity. So it's very much possible to lose your identity when you get married to someone who does not uphold that, and someone who is not supportive to push you to be you. Yes.
Wow.
That is one thing I've learned in my marriage.
So I would say it's important for before you even settle down, find a person, a partner who you're going to complement each other.
Complement each other. And also at that point of courtship, make sure you have open communication. Let your partner understand you, understand who you are. Because most of the time, we tend to take a very short time of courtship, not understanding the other partner, and not even knowing what are their hobbies, what are their interests. Who is this person I'm getting married to? Am I getting married to maybe a minister, for example? And if this is a minister, what should I understand from what he does as a minister, or what she does as a minister? And then when you get to understand that at the point of courtship, and you have that open communication, and your partner knows what you like to do. Maybe, for example, if you have, if you've always desired that one day, one time, I'll become an education professor. And you are working towards that goal in your life. Of course, marriage has come. You have maybe to pause, concentrate on marriage, maybe get married. After that, it's not a dream that has died. One day in your life, you want to see that dream coming true. Have you communicated this to your partner even before you get into marriage, so that you can get to know even his views? Because there are people who will tell you point blank, mi enye hiyo sioni, mimi yenyewe nyumba yangu na daktari, madaktari, I don't believe in madaktari. You see, you start seeing it from that point. So it is very important to have that open communication with your partner.
Wow, open communication. I think that is something that we have said on so many occasions. It's the root cause, having that communication is the root cause of so many problems in relationships. If we do not embrace open communication, so many things go haywire, so many things go wrong. Okay, amazing. So when it comes to identity and you stepping into marriage, what adjustments do you need to make? Because now, as you said, you're coming from a point whereby you are responsible for yourself, and that was it. And then now you're coming to a point whereby when I have to make a decision, there has to be us. So how can I adjust in a way that whatever changes come along, I am okay with it?
There's so many ways to adjust. And as I also started by saying, our identity, we see our identity through Christ. So it's good also to understand when it comes to identity in marriage, what does the Bible say? So if the Bible talks about my husband being the protector of the family, for example, or being the head of the family, at some point I'll have to adjust because that is what the Bible or the scripture says. I will have to go to him for direction. I will have to go and consult him and ask him, this is what I would like to do. What do you think about it? And then, and I've seen that working in my family. Like, I fully trust that my husband is he's the leader in our family. And I will go to him and I will share with him something I feel that I should do, or it can be for our family, or it can be an individual thing. And he will tell me, let me consult, let me pray about it, let me think about it. And then he will come and give me his view of that issue. So our identity, we should view our identity through Christ. What does the Bible say when it comes to identity in marriage? And then don't be rigid. Usikwe so rigid. Ati mimi, hey, there is you and there is me. Ulinipata nikiwa mtu mkubwa. So, hautakuja kuni control.
True.
You see? So, get to understand through the scriptures. Go to your knees, pray about it. Sometimes, our thinking is different.
Very true.
The way I think and the way my husband thinks, very different.
True.
The way I view things, the way he views things, very different. But you know, it's amazing because when we honor them as the heads of the family and then go to our knees and pray about the matter, God is able to change their thinking and align it to his will. That is what God does. You pray, you don't just go and tell him and then you leave it at that. Because you see, again, you don't want to make decisions that are family decisions and then ikuje ianze kuwaletea shida kwa marriage ama kwa family. But there's what you also feel that this is the way we should go about it. Okay, it's okay to give him your view, but it's not okay to to impose that view on him as like you're pushing him towards that decision. Give him your view, allow him to make that decision as the head of the family. Go to God on your knees. Tell God, God, I know these things should be done 1, 2, 3, 4. Please align my husband thinking to your will. And then you let it go. So it is it is good to view ourselves through Christ and just allow things to be. Know your role. If you're a woman, a mother, sometimes, especially for we women, I think hapo ndipo mimi naongelea out of experience. Our identity, sometimes we may lose our identity, especially when we are bringing up the toddlers, when our babies are small. Hey, my God. Kwanza hiyo season ya pregnancy, delivery, 1 year and below, my God, you can go crazy.
Because there's a different shift.
A lot changes about you. Remember, pregnancy changes you. So if you're 1 GB, unarudi GB zingine mingi sana, sijui tutaziita ngapi. And then a lot changes. Your body changes, added responsibilities. Ndio wewe hapa, you can't go outside. Most of the time you're supposed to be there, take care of the baby. And then it's funny because on the other side, I don't know, I don't want to say that's what most women do. You look at your husband, hakai hata kama vitu zimebadilika. Yeye tu ako sawa. Mko na mtoto mdogo, yeye akitaka kwenda kumit mabeshte zake, atakwambia tu nimetoka nitakam. Wewe utatoka uende wapi usiku? Huwezi enda anywhere. Akwambie mimi, okay, for example, I'm going for a kesha. Wewe you really want to, but una imagine una breastfeed, mtoto ni mdogo, uwezi mbeba. So there's a lot that happens in the life of a woman or a mother, especially your time, your pregnancy and the first year of bringing up this baby. So when all this changes, again, view yourself through Christ as the mirror. He has given you the strength because he knows you have the strength to do that. He's the one who said we are the ones who are going to bear children, and we are going to, because Christ knew that we are going to have that strength to do that. So even when you're doing it, how feel like you're losing your identity, you know that you are fulfilling the purposes of God concerning you as a woman. And through that, you get the grace, you get the strength, and you keep pushing.
Wow, that is very, very amazing. I love what you've said and what you've touched on, identity, knowing that you're in God's will, as much as, yes, it's going to bring a shift in your life, but finding confidence in the fact that you are still in God's will and that's his purpose for your life. So the grace is sufficient despite the changes that are coming in. Now, you have talked about being 14 years in marriage. I'm sure with time, because it's a process, as you said, of becoming. So the way you were in your first year of marriage is not the way you are right now, 14 years later. Now, as you were starting, how was it to navigate from that me to we in your personal experience? How are you able to ease into the idea of there's now we, it's not just me? I've heard of a story whereby someone was sharing the very first time, you know, after the wedding, they went for the honeymoon, it was good. Now they settled in now together officially as a married couple. And that very first night, ati alikuwa aliamka, akapata mtu kwa kitanda kwanza akashtuka, then sasa ndo akaanza kuprocess ati haya, I'm married. She woke up from the bed, she went to the kitchen and started crying. Because now she couldn't, like now it sank. But right now she has gotten used to it, she has adjusted. But now, how is it moving from that me to we?
To be honest, as I also said, it's a lot of stretching. It's not easy because a lot changes. Your social life changes. You move from now, unajipata tu, right now your company, unavutwa tu kwa wale watu wako married. How when you are single, and you see also the society can, to some point, it can cause your identity to change, because ukiwa umeolewa, and then for example, you're just married, you go for honeymoon, you're back. Ni wamama tu, wamama tu, pole. I'm one of wamamas, but wamama tu wakikuona like you're still working with the girls.
Wako like,
huyu ajamua, huyu ajamua, huyu kuna kitu bado amebakisha. You see, so there's a lot of pressure, there's a lot of stretching. Remember, when you were not married, ulikuwa unajua it's all about you. Niamuke, nioge, shup, nitoke niende shughuli zangu. Hapa kuna mzee. Kuamka mapema. Kama upikangi chai, if you're here and you're single, anza kupika chai mapema. Wale wapikangi chai wana kukunywa nje. Please anza kuzoea mapema, because this man will not leave your house without breakfast. Heavy, kwanza wengine ni heavy, mtu anakuambia unajua sikulangi anything the whole day, so you prepare me heavy breakfast. Ushisikia watu waamka hadi wana mtu ana make sure akona ameplan kesho asubuhi breakfast ni sijui deep fried ndomas, sijui my omelette, sijui sausages tatu. Hizo vitu zote utapika saa ngapi?
You have to get up early.
You have to. So there's a lot of adjusting, a lot of. Wewe ulikuwa umezoea hadi uvae nguo zote kwa wardrobe ndio uingie kufua.
Saizi
Kuna msee anakam anakwambia ile shati nilikuwa nimevaa 2 days ago nataka kuivaa leo. So wewe hujafua, umekuwa busy the whole week.
But you have to figure out how to
you have to you have to make sure that vitu zake zote ziko organized, zimepangwa, ziko vizuri, because there's a lot of stretching. There's a lot of stretching that happens. But you asked a very good question. How did I maneuver? I myself. But I'll just want to say the same thing that I said. I think when I got married, I saw it like it's another step of my life. Sasa nimetoka from this singlehood, nimeingia another step of my life. So I was ready to adjust. Of course, the same year I was ready, meaning that I didn't have those painful moments. I had painful moments, and the most painful moments, I think they came through my first stage or my first pregnancy with our first baby, because hapo ndio kulikuwa na a lot of hiyo kuadjust vitu sijazoea, and then sasa mimi ndio niko hapo nimebeba ball, niko siwezi toka home ndio hiyo, and then I think challenges just 2 1 2 3 it really brought me a problem. But as time went by, I think I have learned to trust in God, and I have also learned to take my issues to God. Like I go ask God for grace, but then mean ule mse mwenye I will see a challenge, sisemi sita I speak up, but before I speak it up, I've learned to put God as my friend. Like God, I know there's nothing God cannot do. I know God is able to change the mind of my husband like this. Like I don't need to send someone to speak to him. I can simply speak to God, and I can tell God, God, this is what I want to do. And you see, amazingly, that's what God does. I have had incidences where naona niki raise issue with my spouse, inaweza leta issues, but I tell God, kwani who is a human being before you? Si unaweza ingia tu kwa hiyo akili yake, ukoroge akili yake, umalign na hii issue hivi. And funny enough, tunaweza kuwa tuko na maybe tumedisagree on something, tumeiweka pause. Niende kwa God. Sometimes I even pray and fast. I tell God I'm fasting specifically for this matter. Na God nataka tukikutana na yeye aniambie issues 1 2 3. Of course naenda, unaona ile unakanga na God like una bargain. Namwambia God, unajua tukifanya hii kitu hivi itatufikisha pale. But tukifanya hivi inaweza leta shida. So God mimi naona kwa sababu tu yeye ndiye anaweza kuwa na final decision ya hii issue. Just change his mind. Later you go meet him, anakwambia hata nilifikiria ile story vile ulikuwa unasema actually ndivyo ina work, and inside of me I'm like God, wewe ndio ule mse because there's nothing that say ujifanya ati ulikuwa umeenda kuomba ati ukae una control. No, umeona anya hata mimi ndio nilikuwa nakwambia, lakini hata idea yako si mbaya, lakini acha tufuate hii yangu for this time round and then see how things are going to work. So it is what helped me, or what helped me during that time, I learned to take my issues to God. Like I believed God, or I believe God can do anything.
Wow.
Hiyo ndio ilinikeep, but sisemi adjustment ilikuwa rahisi.
It wasn't an
but
easy journey.
Compared to today, I can say there's a lot of maturity, there's a lot of growth. There are things he say I will not take them very seriously. I have adjusted, like nishajua, like acha tuniseme tu kuna hiyo maturity. So vitu si very tough kama vile zilikuwa in the beginning,
like it was before then. I've loved what you said about how you take your matters to God in prayer, about having faith and grace. Ya kwamba Lord, no matter how tough the situation is, you have a way to turn it around. Like it has also brought out the aspect of wisdom in communication, because again, in marriage, that is a very sacred institution that you have to protect at all costs. So even how you communicate is very, very important. You need to find a wise way to communicate so that you can keep that relationship bound together.
Yeah, and just to add on that, I think something else that has really helped us is that as years go by, I'm also coming to learn, or I just love how my husband takes me, because he doesn't just take me for a wife, a mother of my children. He really takes seriously the advices I bring to the family. Like when he wants to do anything, and he doesn't just do everything because that he's the head of the family. He brings matters on the table. So when he brings matters on the table, and then we are able to discuss matters, and I weigh in my opinions about it, I think that has also helped me grow and has changed a lot, and has built my identity this far. Because sometimes when you bring your advice and things work out, things become better out of your advice, and somebody comes and tells you, hey, manze unakuanga mwise. You see, it builds my confidence. It builds my identity. Like, I get to know, kumbe niko na say kwa hii familia. Kumbe there is something I can say, and then somebody can follow. You see, that is one of the points I would also want to bring across, and that will really help people that are in marriage. Build your spouse's confidence. Help them build their identity. Like, don't get married to someone, don't marry a woman, and then because you've married her, sasa umemfunga mdomo, she'll never say anything. Remember, before you married her, she used to make decisions for herself.
Very true.
And some of these decisions she made, one of the decisions is getting married to you. So why is it that when now she's come to marriage, Hannah say,
that's the end.
And you see, with that, it makes a woman like feel like she doesn't have a sense of belonging. And those are some of the things that now bring identity crisis in marriage. So I think that is one of the things that I've also realized, or has really contributed to who I am today, because I have a husband that really supports me. Like, he's always there. He tells, like, let me just quote words that he once told me, and those words lingered in my head like for so long. And he said, hani unajua nikikuangalia naonanga a very great woman. Na sasa nakwambia hivyo, you I think 5 years in marriage, uko na pregnancy too, hata ujielewi, unafanya job mpaka unaweza despise where you are. But somebody looks at you and tells you, when I look at you, I see a very great woman. I see a woman who is so much filled with the wisdom of God. You see, when somebody tells you that, you sit down somewhere in a corner and you start thinking, what is this thing this person is saying in me that I am not seeing? So you start acting to become
what was said.
Exactly. Because you see, what God will do, God will not, you'll not hear a loud voice from heaven, God saying. God will use people to speak to your life. And God can use your spouse to speak to your life. Because the moment he said those words to me, I started, niliacha kujiangalia, like, could down look on myself, you see. I started seeing myself as that great woman. I started acting towards that great woman. And I think out of that is where our YouTube channel was born. Because I'm the one who started the YouTube channel, and then he came and joined me. Because when he started saying that you are great, you have something great, the world needs to hear you, the world needs, you can talk to people, you see. Nikaanza kusimama, like, now this is who I am. I need to act towards this. So speaking to all men outside there, and especially men, because sometimes what we do to our women, we make them lose their identities. And we make our women, they have greatness in them. Because remember, besides your woman being your wife, she's also answerable before God because of the purpose that God created her for. So are you helping her to accomplish that purpose? Ama, you're there to make her down look on herself or think she's a nobody and kill her dreams, her passions, all for the sake of kukulelea watoto, kukuzalia, kukulelea ngombe, na mbuzi, na all those kind of, let's support each other. Look in the eyes of your spouse. Tell them what you see in them. Tell them the greatness you see in them.
Words.
Be that mouthpiece of God to encourage that person, telling them they can become. Support them.
Yeah.
Support them in every aspect. If maybe you got married to someone who never went to school, ask them, what would you like to do? Excuse me, kuna short courses.
Yeah.
Take them for catering. Wacha wajue baking.
Yeah.
Wacha wajue these short courses. Make that person better than you found them. And through that, you will build your spouse's identity.
Wow, that is amazing, building each other. Because sometimes it's true that identity can get lost with all these changes that are happening, especially for a woman. The changes are so many. You move from being a single woman, now there are children, you're a mother, you're a wife. So many titles that are attached to it, and you have to make so many adjustments. So sometimes it's easy to get lost in trying to figure out where I'm supposed to go. So, but it goes either way. Those kind words, they go a long way. So let us be kind to each other. Let us help build each other and build our relationships. Now, you mentioned before that about the society and what they have to say about someone who is the newlyweds, or mbono bado unatembea na this, nini, all that. So would you say that there's a way that cultural influence, ama the social influence, ama the society's influence in how your identity is supposed to be, especially after marriage?
Yeah. Because different communities and different societies, they have different beliefs when it comes to marriages. There are those that believe a woman is just meant to sit down or get married, take care of your family. That's what they say. Take care of your family, that's it. Watch your husband, afanye hiyo kazi ingine akulete. You see? And you see that in one or another, that will affect your identity. Because you find so many career women, watu wamesoma, but because aliolewa in a community that does not uphold or does not support a woman working, they sit back. They sit back, they just stay in the house, they're just left to take care of children, take care of boma, kazi ya mzee ni aende, bring. And also to men, there are also societies that believe that a woman should not give even a coin to support the family. This is the work of a man. So there's a lot of pressure. Kuna a lot of pressure to fulfill the responsibilities that you're called to fulfill. And this can really affect also the identity of a man. Because hata mtu anaweza jidharau. Imagine you have a wife who earns good money and you are a husband, okay, who earns good money, but the money that is not enough to take care of the family, the husband's money is not enough. But your wife is there because the society says, pesa ya mwanamke ni yake, ya mwanaume ni yao. You see, so she takes her money, she misuses her money, she does all sorts of things. This will affect the society, and a lot is said nowadays about marriages and about identities in marriage. And if you are not careful, mi nasemanga marriage ni watu wawili wenye they live together, wachana na wao, because you will bring all sorts of things, but these two people understand each other. What you see outside there is different from what happens in the house. So even if the society is there, jueni nyinyi wawili what you want. Let it not affect your identity. If you're there and you've discussed with your spouse that I can support as a woman, I'll be paying these bills as you pay these ones, just go ahead. Leave the society and what they say. Because also, society can also mean whatever we see in the social media platforms.
There's a lot of influence happening.
Unapata mtu amejengewa nyumba ya bedrooms kadhaa, and you want to compare yourself to, and then you're here telling your husband, wewe hata unipelekangi Dubai like couple so and so, wewe hata ufanyangi 1 2 3. My God, a lot of pressure is coming in from the society, but just know who you are. Sit down with your partner and know what you want in your marriage. Achaneni na society, achaneni na vile watu watasema. Kuna societies zingine pia wanasemekananga they marry learned people.
Usilete mtu hajasoma na
usilete mtu hajasoma. Wewe unafika huko umeolewa na diploma yako, unapata pressure. Before uzae, sijui uende ufanye masters, sijui ufanye bachelors, sijui ufanye nini. A lot of pressure from the society. So communities, societies, a lot of cultural beliefs can also affect our identities, and they can give us a lot of pressure.
When it comes to marriage. Wow. And would you say, in your own experience, with the 14 years we've been in marriage, would you say that both men and women experience identity changes in a different way?
Of course, it's in a different way. Like I don't want to be biased here, but I would want to say, from my analysis, naona kama tuko affected sana.
As women,
we are affected. There are a lot of changes. There are a lot of changes, and if you don't draw boundary, akiutazama. You will drown. You will drown. You will start living your spouse's life. You will start living the society's life. You will forget totally about you. You start living life to please your children, life to fulfill other people's desires, and you forget about yourself. So I think a lot changes in women, and if you're not careful, you might lose your identity. So, but for both genders, there are a lot of identity changes that do happen. You see, also for a man, he was used to just his own life, and love sasa hapa umekuja umemongezea bibi na watoto. Hakuwa ananunua diaper, umemongezea kwa shopping. Hakuwa na all sorts of things. So I want to believe for both genders there are a lot of identity changes. But sijui kwa nini Mungu, but grace is sufficient. Neema inatosha. But you have to draw a thin line between you and me, and specifically speaking to women. There's a lot that is expected from you. When we get to heaven, you will not start telling God, God, you know, I had a good family. God, you know how I used to iron the clothes of my husband, how I used to cook for them nice food. Hey, God will ask you, your purpose.
Have you fulfilled it?
Your purpose. And all of us want to hear, well done, my good and faithful servant. That's what we are working on towards. Besides a family, besides you being a wife, besides everything else, you are working towards that. You want to get to heaven, and God is like, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. So I pray for you. I pray for you. Wherever you are, even if you're feeling you're in that season of identity crisis, you are lost, you don't know what you are, where you are as at now, please, may God help you. May God give you the grace, and may you come to draw that thin line and get to understand you also have a life to live and balance everything.
Amazing. And it's very much possible to get that balance, to strike it, and to be able to handle everything without losing yourself. Yes, you remain faithful in your marriage, accomplish whatever God intended for you in marriage, because marriage is also a calling, but also on this other end, you keep on fulfilling your purpose and you keep on moving forward, okay?
Yes.
Amazing. So we've talked about maintaining your identity even in marriage. Now, is it possible for someone or for a spouse to grow within the marriage setup without affecting the relationship in itself? Is it possible for growth to happen or growth to occur, or do we have to do it together?
I'll say it's possible,
but
it takes a lot of wisdom. It takes a lot of wisdom. Speaking from where I sit, as at now, being a leader in the company I work for, that there's a way I behave with the people that I lead, but when I come to my family, I have to submit. So remember, at work, you have more than 10 people submitting to you. And then when you come to this other side, you have someone to submit to. And as I also said, our thinking is different. The way we perceive things, the way we see things, the way we act towards things is very different. So if I am not wise, I will bring my managerial skills to my house.
The house,
Kwa nyumba naye kuna mwenye nyumba.
Very true.
So I would say it is very much possible, but it takes a lot of wisdom. A lot of wisdom. Like today I will confidently stand and say, if it were not for the wisdom of the Holy Spirit, it is not possible. It is not possible. And I fully depend on the wisdom of the Holy Spirit, because I wouldn't want a place my husband will feel like I am not respecting him. You see, I wouldn't want a place. I will go in my house and act like I act in my working place. I wouldn't want a place that I will go to my house and feel like a boss. You see? So it really takes a lot of wisdom. It really takes a lot of submission of the direction of the Holy Spirit, that He will guide us and that He will help us to grow. Because I also want to get that good, well done from God. So I really work towards that. And for me to work towards that, I really need to make sure that I also fulfill my responsibilities in the house. Like there's no gap. There's no, yani, even if I go to work early, I have not left my house, ikikuwa like I'm a irresponsible mother. You understand? Let me just give an example. With my position at work, sometimes I am forced to be at work very early. And we have very small kids. Our twins are very small. So we have to drop them to school. They don't use the public transport. We have to drop them to school. So most of the time, it's my husband who does that role. So we have our help who prepares the children most of the time, and then he has to pick them, take them to school. We also pick them during the day when I am free. Sometimes when I'm in meetings, I will call him and tell him, I'm in a meeting, kindly pick the kids from school. And he will do that. But I also have to make sure, however the help is the one who is preparing the kids to school, I have made sure that everything is set, everything is organized. So I have to wake up very early in the morning, organize everything. Nguo ziko safi, everything is okay, breakfast nimetengeneza, kila kitu iko. So when the kids wake up, most of the time when they wake up, I'm leaving. But when they wake up, maybe I've given them breakfast, imebaki tu kuwavalisha nguo, and then they leave. Like, I make it easy for him. So it really needs the wisdom and balancing. Balancing,
balance is key.
Balancing is key, because else utajipata your family is crashing. You're just living, but your husband does not feel like he has a wife anymore. Wewe ulishajide. Na hizo issues ziko, by the way, ziko. They are there in families, and you will hear people saying, "Who you squeezy?" They're just dedicated in their place of work, and it can also be vice versa for men also, because you can advance yourself and forget about your home. All your time is dedicated to work, or it's dedicated, after work umeenda shule, after shule umeenda meet your friends. So what time do you have for your family?
What time do you meet them?
What time do you meet your children? What time do you have for your wife and for your spouse? So yes, you can be developing yourself, or you can be maintaining your identity, but if you're not careful, that can also affect your family. But there's also a wisdom that will cause you to balance. And sometimes just sit down and weigh and analyze and see. Ask your spouse, by the way. Ask your spouse, muulize tu, do you feel like I've taken much of my time at my place of work? By the way, those are the open communications you're talking about. Don't ignore. Usione amenyamaza and then you just ignore. Just sometimes just sit with him, muulize, what do you think? Do you think I've taken much of my time doing my other things? Am I in my school? And if you feel they sound like it's a yes, able to sit down and analyze and see what you can drop and balance the two.
Amazing. So it's possible for you to attain balance, and you should prioritize balance, open communication. I think these are things that we should pick, and they are sort of universal in all forms of relationships, not just marriages. Even our work relationships, our friendships, our relationships with our family. It's important for us to make sure that there's balance, there's open communication, so that we can build on these relationships and they can be able to be strong unions, okay? Amazing. So maybe we can get the Vox Pop so that we can know what people have to say about identity in marriage. Do they believe, or are they convinced that by getting into marriage, identity yako lazima ita change? And maybe they can share with us whether it's positive or negative. So let's get to hear what people in the streets have to say about marriage, identity in marriage.
Yes, they do, significantly, because marriage is a union of two people. Having lived by yourself, you get somebody into your space. And so you no longer have, quote unquote, your privacy, as it were. You are brought by marriage into this situation where you share your life. with somebody else, somebody that will definitely hold you accountable. And those, therefore, will not do the things that you used to do when you are by yourself. And therefore, by that fact that when you are late, they'll want to get to know where you are. And therefore, by default or by design, wanting to be home in the times, most probably when you, by yourself, you weren't able to, then definitely that's a change in itself. So that you not just do things without consulting or considering the feelings, the attitude, the perspective of the other person. So it does change your character, your attitude, and your conduct. Yeah, so, and your change has to be that with the view of accommodating the view of the other person, and therefore that being the premise of a successful marriage. If you don't change, then that might be the reason for your marriage not to last. So you have to change so that you can accommodate the other party into the complex life or the complicated life of having multiple friends that you used to have before you got married. So you definitely have to change. And that change is what will necessitate the working and the sustainability of your marriage.
For me, marriage huwa haichange mtu, ina amplify venye mtu alikuwa. So necessarily si kubadilika, ina amplify mwenye ulikuwa ndani. So the quality of a person you are inakufanya ukue even more. Kama ulikuwa mzuri, inakufanya ukue mzuri zaidi. Kama ulikuwa tu mtu mbaya, ina amplify that person.
Marriage hubadilika kwa sababu saa zingine wale two couples wakioana kama hawana chochote, mmoja wao afanikiwe, definitely mmoja wao ana change.
First of all, it changes a young man into a husband. In the process, it also changes you from a husband to a father or a dad. It also makes you responsible.
Marriage will change unless kama una ndio huwezi kuwa na stress. But kama ukiwa nayo mambo ile ya kitambo, mambo ile yenye uko unafanya kitambo inaendanga ina change. Sasa ukipata maybe pengine mambo mengine inaweza change, akisema hii unasikiza wenye amesema. For example, kama ulikuwa unataka kulikuwa na kitu ulikuwa unataka kufanya na mmejulikana kabisa, mmeaminiana mnaweza fanya kitu. So kwa upande yangu akiniambia hii namsikiza, na mimi nikimwambia hii namsikiza.
Wakati ameolewa hivyo, yani anaona tu yani amemachua, ako na kids, ama amepata mume, inafaa sasa badilike. Kama mtu uko na watoto, maybe tuseme uko na bwana, unaona tu yenyewe kuna vitendo fulani yenye ilikuwa nafanya ya nyuma, naacha kando, at least na machua.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. We've heard what people have to say about identity after marriage, and we've heard that most people believe family that you're supposed to change, okay? But they haven't specified whether it does affect your personal identity, but change is inevitable when you get into marriage. Some things do have to take a shift. Now maybe, Miriam, you can share with us what is your opinion from what we've just watched?
Yeah, I think they've spoken the truth.
Yeah.
Maybe just to amplify what they have said.
Yeah.
One of them has brought it out well.
Yeah.
That marriage does not change you, but marriage just amplifies who you are.
Yeah.
So if you are an impatient person, marriage haitakufanya ukue sasa patient. Inaletanga tu hiyo impatience, inaonekana vizuri kabisa. So marriage does not change you. It makes you better. And I think that's also the intention of God, that when he gives you a partner, he wants to make you better.
Yeah.
Like he wants to take you through a season of becoming better, because that's why we are told it's becoming one. So it's becoming better. And all that we just need in marriage is that empathy, patience, and just knowing that it's not there to harm you. We angalia tu vitu vile zinaenda, get the wisdom of dealing with those things. So whatever has been spoken is very true, and but people have spoken about the change, the responsibility that come with marriage. You're not called a dad, you're not called a husband to someone, all those kind of things. So I agree with what they said.
Wow, amazing. So we're going to take a quick breather right here, but we'll be coming right back. Remember, this is a relationship talk show, and we're talking about identity in marriage. Now, the conversation is getting really, really interesting by the minute as we're getting to learn and understand so many things about what to expect in marriage. Kama uko ndani ya marriage, you can maybe concur or maybe give your opinion about the same. Na kama bado hujafika, at least you're getting an idea of what to expect when we get to that particular point. Now, let us take a break, but we'll be coming right back, so don't go too far.
MBCI Television, transforming lives.
Are you ready for spiritual awakening? In this month of June, the Wailing Mothers and Pastors' Wife Fellowship Kenya Nyeri chapter invites you to a transformative conference, the Wailing Prayer Feast 2025. 21 days of prayer and fasting at Kamukunji Grounds, Nyeri, commencing on 8th to the 29th of June. Experience divine healing, embrace total restoration with a dynamic lineup of God's generals, including Dr. Lucy Nganga.
They are not like Joseph. Joseph was thrown in a foreign land, but he had self-government and rule.
Mama Ada Adoyo.
He pointed at a mountain and said, "This is the one I want."
Pastor Julia Karanja.
Contend for your priesthood.
Reverend Evans Chumo.
Watu ambao hawajui kushindwa ni watu walio na majozi.
Pastor T. Mwangi.
You can be young and full of God.
Reverend Mike Bitok.
Your mind is managed by the renewal of the word.
Prophet Paul Moneki.
May God give you more than internal womb.
Apostle Julius Subi.
Certain things will take place in the heavens that will affect the earth.
Apostle David Juma.
Lazima God atapreserve kamondo moja.
Apostle Andrew Nganga.
But when we are prayerless, we become subject to the environment.
And Prophetess Winnie Andrew.
For maono is survive, there must be midwives who will preserve through prayer.
We gather under the powerful theme, positioning a generation through intercession, inspired by Jeremiah chapter 31 verse 15. Don't miss the powerful proclamation march on June 28th, culminating with a powerful climax worship rally on June 29th at 2 p.m. Daily sessions, that is morning devotion from 5 a.m. to 7:30 a.m., morning session from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m., lunch hour from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m., evening service from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m., Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., and Sundays from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Boarding at only 150 Kenya shillings per day. Pay via M-Pesa till number 4462620. For more information, contact 0720-674-404. Welcome and be a part of this generational...
On your screen, the Lake Olbolosat Half Marathon, June 15, 2025. Run for nature, run for conservation, run for our future.
MBCI Television, transforming lives.
Amazing. Welcome back from that very short break. Remember, this is a relationship talk show with me, Sylvia Wanja. And today we have Miriam Wanjiku Kariuki. And we are talking about identity in marriage and how things happen. How do you retain your identity even while you're still in marriage? How do you maintain that we while there's still a me, okay, inside there? So we've had the chance to learn about open communication and its importance in maintaining a relationship. The fact that we also need to know, or you also need to know and understand your identity in Christ, even while you're still working towards pursuing this marriage, this union that God sanctioned, okay? Amazing. So let us get back into the conversation that we are having today, okay? And Miriam, when it comes to marriage and when it comes to identity, at what point do you feel that, at what point should there be alarms or red flags that you're now losing yourself, you're losing your identity? What are some of those red flags?
That you're losing your identity?
Yeah.
Pressure. And the pressure that denies you that joy of being in your family. I just gave a good example of a mother, a new mom, or let me not call her a new mom, but a mother with a small kid. That's the best example maybe I can give. That person can be under a lot of pressure. And sometimes you will feel like you are not enough. You will feel like people are not seeing what you're doing. You will feel like everyone around you does not understand you. And when you get to that point of you start feeling pressure, it can also happen to men, where you get a lot of pressure on responsibilities. So you need to pay school fees, you need to pay rent, you need to buy all sorts of things. And now this gives you a lot of pressure. Some even get angry, and some now start showing it off to their partners. When you get to such points, those are some of the red flags that you should now start to see. And when it gets to this, I would like to suggest that just take a pause. Just take a pause and think. And think, where did you lose it? Where are you feeling this way? What went wrong? And then we say when you realize and when you know where you went wrong, it's good to speak it up, seek guidance, seek counseling. If possible, get a third party to counsel you. Speak to your partner if your partner will get to understand you. So I think one of the greatest red flag is when you start feeling the pressure, the pressure of the identity. When you start thinking like people are not understanding you, people don't know what you are doing. And I would also like to say, when it gets to such points, I don't know why I'm just directed towards women, because I think I am a woman, because I have gone through that. It is good to accept help. It's good to accept help, especially when it comes to where you feel a lot of pressure in maybe taking care of a small baby, taking care of anything. Accept help. And sometimes we say help means bring in a house help, for example, if you don't have one. Because there are those women who believe I'm the only one who can bring up my child well. Mimi mtoto wangu before amalize 1 year, it's only me and my baby. You say it's me and my baby, but pressure inakugonga because you feel like you're losing yourself. There are things you want to do, but you're not able to do because this kid is here, and this kid becomes the first priority. So it's just good to accept help. Bring in that house help. Sometimes discuss with your spouse. Mwambie, it's holiday. Let me take the kids out to to a relative, for example. Let me just have that my me time. Let me go out with my girls. Let me do those things. Go and unleash the pressure. After you have unleashed the pressure, now you come back fresh. And you will come back and start doing those things again. So I would say, whenever you feel that, whenever you feel like you're having a lot of pressure, please accept help. Accept help. And the help will come by first you identifying and knowing, what do I want? Is it company of friends that I miss? Is it something that I used to do? Maybe there are those who love to go to the gym. Maybe now you don't have that time at all. create some time, speak about it, ask how you can be assisted with that. Maybe your spouse can even sacrifice after 5, they come home early, and then you step out and go for that gym. Discuss these things. Msinyamazie, because the moment unaanza kunyamazia, they start eating you from within.
And they start building up.
Exactly.
Kila kitu tu ni kunyamazia. So
exactly. Ile siku utalipuka, unalipuka the whole of you. And hapo sasa ndio kunaanza kuwa na blame games, wewe hata unafanyanga, mimi nilikuwa nafanya kwanzia unioe, I don't do 1 2 3 4, mnaanza blame games, but ni wewe haujawahi speak up.
And I remember something that you said as we were continuing with the conversation about words that your spouse said that made you feel really nice. He said you're a great woman, and it stuck with you. How else can spouses affirm each other in marriage? Yes, I know there are changes happening. Yes, I know you're not who you are years back, but I still appreciate you, I still see you. How can you affirm to build that relationship even after marriage?
Words, number 1, as I said, speak good words to your partner. Number 2, identify what they love and support them to doing it. Like just the example I gave, like if your partner loves to go to the gym, if they love to go out on weekends with their friends, good friends that you know, once in a while, give them that permission to do that. And something else also, help your partner or support them even if it's financially. Because sometimes I would want to do something, but something that builds my identity, but I'm not able to. Because, for example, I don't have the finances. Every finance is committed in the family, for example. So there's nothing that I'm able to do. So another way that a partner can affirm is by offering support. It can be a financial support, it can be a physical support, like helping to handle that small baby while your partner is doing something else, or while they've stepped out to just to catch up with friends, you see. Also, I think in marriages, it's also good to identify things that you can do together.
As a couple.
Yes, as a couple. For example, me, I have a husband who is very adventurous. Like, he loves to go. So I know whenever he's under pressure, hata tukidrive tu tutoke hapa tuende Njoro, he drives, we just sit under a tree, tumebuy Fanta moja na cookies. We will sit down under that tree and he will be able to unleash his pressure. Maybe kama alikuwa na pressure ya bills or something like that, and we will come back, we will feel great. So another way of affirming your spouse is identify something that you can do together, and then do it together as a couple. Mkifanya hivyo, mtaendelea tu kupeana strength, and people will build you will build each other's that identity. Itakuwa strong. Yes.
And I've loved, I think with everything that we are talking about, it all trickles down to making sure that you are married first to the right person. Because if you miss that mark, whatever we are saying here, it will be hard to implement.
Kabisa.
So, inaanza from up there. Make sure that you get married to the right person for you. They won't be 100% perfect, but at least itakuwa, if they are your person, it will be easier even as you go on this journey, as you move along this journey of marriage. Because
I think and that comes to some of the questions you should be asking your partner during courtship. What do you believe? What does your community say about a woman? What does your community say about a man? Unajua hapo ndio utaanza kusikia mtu anakuambia, mimi my mom hakuwahi toka. My mom alikuwa anafungwa mdomo asiongee. Mimi my mom. Of course they will tell you my people, and then you'll ask, what about you? What do you think?
What's your take?
What's your take on a woman? To what level can a woman go according to you? Do you believe a woman can be above you when it comes to finances and all sorts of things? You see, those are some of the questions you should start asking when you're in courtship, because they will help you. They will help you in marriage.
Wow, amazing. Hey, I would say it is a tough one for us, but it's also good and very important for us to understand about these things and how they work, so that we can be able to be willing to put in the work that is required, be it communication, be it finding time for each other, be it finding kind words. Because there are people who have very, very bad cultures, kuna wengine utasikia mke na mtoto ni one and the same, do not speak.
There is on the same.
Yeah.
Ukienda nyumbani usipate mzee na so hiyo nyumba ina mtu. That house has no one.
Yeah. So you see that now there is a problem.
Yeah.
So I would say that we need to have another conversation altogether on courtship and what questions to ask.
Yes.
Si kila wakati tu what is your favorite color? No. There are questions that need to go
those ones
deeper.
will take you nowhere.
Yeah.
Favorite color yako inaweza kuwa ni red. Ufike kwangu upate nimeweka orange. Nikianza kupata nyumba yangu imepakwa. Na baadhi orange is inakaa pia kwa color poa. So people are asking wrong questions during courtship. But the things that are eating up marriage, people are not discussing before. Unakuja kusema mimi, my husband, and he doesn't listen to me. But how did he used to behave during your courtship? Did you even ask him some of those things? Did you get to understand his community or her community? So that you can know if you are lying. Ama if you don't align, wanze kuona red flags utoroke mapema. So those things do not start in marriage. They start
way
then.
Before.
Because giving a very good example is, even during our courtship, this was my husband.
Yeah.
He didn't used to show me like mimi tu ni mtu tu like just a no one. Like, but then I really love that about him. Like he showed me, provided I'm a mother to his kids, provided I'm his wife, I have a say. I am complete. I am a complete being, like the way I am. And he started showing me that even during our courtship. Like he didn't used to despise me, despise my ideas. He didn't make decisions alone. He used to bring decisions on the table. We make decisions together. It's when those families where unashtukia hoot kwa gate jioni. Unaenda kufungua gate, unaambia surprise gari yetu. And you're like, aje. Okay, kuna zile za surprise na kuna zile za these are family asset. We need to sit down. Ama unashtukia mtu anakuambia aje, atikuja na kupeleka mahali. Nenda unapelekwa, unadrivewa tu Njoro, unaambiwa aje our house imejengwa ikakuwa complete. You don't value your spouse's ideas on matters. And you see some of those things zinakufanya. You see that helps me even any decision that I make in my life, anything that I choose to do, I know my husband has a say in it. And also to him, anything he chooses to do, anakuanga amefikiria, what will my wife say about this thing? What will she say about? Na kuna zingine tu nitachengwa hivi nipigwe but nitajua, nitamwambia na hii hatu kuongea, na hii hatu kudiscuss, you know men of course. Na hii hatu kudiscuss, and you will feel like ama hata before ifike hapo atajisema aniambia akina kuna kitu nilifanya 1 2 3 you see. So that really builds one's identity. Yani, this person, before you got married to them, they were complete. They were making their own decisions. They were doing their own things. So it's not that now they have come to you. You have come to complement each other, to make your lives better. Not that sasa mimi nimekuja because singejimekea decision ama singeishi life yangu peke yangu. Sasa nimekuja ati ndio kwa mtu atakuwa ananimekea decisions. No.
It's different.
Yeah, it's different.
And when you're trying to ensure that you maintain your identity, what are some activities that you can engage in zenye zinaweza kuweka on toes ama zinaweza fanya uweze kuachieve fully that aspect of trying to maintain your identity even while still in marriage?
Listen to lots of teachings. I think that is one thing that has really, really, really helped me grow. I really listen to people I admire, the women I see making impact in the society. I really listen to their teachings. I read their books. I want knowledge. I want to know, how do I attain? How do I achieve? How do I become better? And you see, these are some of the things that we can do them hata tukiendeleanga kufanya our other roles in the families. But don't just sit there, because things will not come to find you. And also, your husband will not come anakupatanga ukiwatch Afro cinema every now and then. Let me give that example. Every time your husband comes to the house, he finds you watching Afro cinema. Alafu ufikire your husband atakwambia, you will be a great person. You will be, you see, it's ironical. But the moment he comes, he finds the things you're watching, ataanza
Being
kuconnect.
impactful.
Na hata yeye mwenyewe ataanza kufikiria aseme, and why is it that my wife every time I find her watching Joyce Meyer, I find her watching Sarah Jakes, for example. What is this that is attracting my wife to this? Ataanza kukuview na different
light.
Exactly. Ataanza kukuangalia differently. Same with men. Every time you're on your phone, you are just on flirting, WhatsApp,
nothing else.
Facebook, TikTok, every now and then. Do you think your wife will ever sit like this and think that you can become a powerful man of God? Powerful man of God na TikTok, wewe tu kazi ni ya kuangalia ile inaitangwa aje dance challenge. Ni dance challenge gani iko inashikisha saa hizi? Those are the things you are watching. No, you need to do things that will also make me start thinking differently about you. So you have you as an individual, you have a role to play, and also so that your partner can also start thinking differently about you. So some of the things that I do is that I really listen. You see, when you are told you have greatness in you, you also want to, and you want to believe God, that which you have, or that which you have purposed with me, I want to pour all of it for the glory and honor of your name. So for me to give my best, I have to read the Bible, I have to pray, I have to listen to teachings so that I can become better and better.
Wow, amazing. So impart yourself with knowledge.
Impart yourself with knowledge. And you see, that will only come when you get to know your identity.
Know who you are, what's your
Just
niche.
know who you are, what you are called for. Like for example, like you know, you are passionate about relationships, right?
I am.
So every time you are in the internet, you're looking for things to do with relationships.
Very true.
Sindio? Sasa, there's no way you can go to listen to teachings and you already don't know who you are. So it starts with know who you are, know what you have been called for. And then now start building yourself towards that line.
Wow, amazing. And now let's say we're in a relationship or we're in marriage, and I have identified the fact that I have an issue with knowing my identity or knowing myself. I have an identity crisis issue. Is there a way that maybe I can convert that into an opportunity for growth, or that's it for me? How can I come out of that situation or that state of not having, of not knowing who I am or losing myself?
Yeah, we've said one of the ways of helping us get out of this is having open relationships, right? So I want to believe any identity crisis is an opportunity for you to grow. And that also depends with the way you view things. Because there are identity crises that can come to affect us, or depending on how you view it, you see? So the moment you speak up, and that's why we've said you first identify where you lost it. What is it that I used to do that used to give me peace, maybe before I got married or in the first years of my marriage, but I'm not doing it today. And then take, for example, maybe you used to go for fellowships. You say fellowships, but nowadays you don't go for fellowships and you feel you are drained spiritually because this is the place you used to go unleash, pray together, study the word of God together. But now you're not able to go for those meetings. So identify and say, it's the fellowships that I'm not going nowadays. After identifying purpose to create time for them, for example. Like be intentional about getting back to that. And you see now you have in mind that there is the me and there is the we. So you want to deal with the me. And you've just realized, I'm not dealing with the me. I'm not growing the me. Ukiangalia your family, you have grown. You have now 2 children. Sijui mmenunua plot. You have grown all those things in the family. But are you still in the same place that you were, or you have grown? Maybe there's something you need. Maybe if you used to pray for 30 minutes, you want to increase and at least pray for 1 hour. But I am not doing that. What happened?
What's missing?
What is missing? And then now you go back and identify, kumbe it's the fellowships that I'm not attending. Then now be intentional about getting back to that place or getting back to doing what you are not doing. You can decide to speak this to you partner and let them understand you and from what point you're speaking. If it doesn't work, you can call in a third party and just have this discussion and show how this is important to you and how it's going to help you even grow. So I think I've answered your question.
Yes.
So it's about identifying where you lost it. After you've identified, speak it out. After speaking it up, be intentional about going. Because I believe, kama time is always created. Time is always created. If it's time to do anything, usiseme ati mimi nakuanga busy, nini. Do you know in a day, I wake up at 4:30 a.m. Every day. And if I wake up after 4:30, my day will not be a good one.
It'll not align.
Because I have work to plan. I have to have my own time for devotion. I have my kids, the older ones that are waking up very early to go to school. So I have to prepare breakfast to them and everything. So every day, if I don't wake up at 4:30 and at least start with reading the Word of God, then take a moment of prayer, and then from there, niekele chai na niite watoto. By the time wanajitayarisha, I am planning that day's work. I'm saying maybe I'm checking reports that came in maybe yesterday evening or something like that. And then just by the time I'm leaving the house, I am prepared. So time is always created. So I won't say that because I am busy at work, so I'm not able to pray. I'm not able to read the Word of God. And if I have any YouTube content that I'm supposed to to prepare, lazima tu bado nitengeneze time. I have to study, I have to have in guests and all those things. So you have to create, be intentional. It's about intentionality. Be intentional. Because if we don't do that, we will then lose our identity.
Wow, be intentional so that you can retain your identity.
Yes.
Very, very important. Now, unfortunately, we are almost running out of time, but I trust and hope that this particular program is impactful to you and it's going to help you in the long run. Tulisema sikusikiza na kutulia peke yake, but we are hoping that we're going to pick important pointers that are going to help us in our relationships. It's okay, you're not in marriage right now, but in years to come, you'll be in marriage, okay? So you're going to implement this knowledge. It's good for you to know it beforehand. Kuna mwenye already ako ndani na anaipata saizi, which hujachelewa, it's the right time, it's got its timing. But now, kama umeipata beforehand, seta unaona you're in a better place, okay? So make sure that you listen and implement it. And if you can share it, even the better. The more you share it, the more it sticks, okay? So let us get Kwanza Relation Tips by Joyce Andeso so that we can know what is she teaching us about identity in marriage. Then we'll come back with a parting shot from Miriam as we wind up. But for now, wacha tupate Real Asian Tips.
Hello and welcome to Real Asian Tips, and today we are talking about identity in marriage. Number 1, know who you are outside the relationship. Continue growing your interests, values, and goals. You are someone before marriage, don't lose that person after. A strong individual identity brings strength into the marriage. Number 2, don't depend on your spouse for your whole identity. Build self-worth through your faith, personal growth, and purpose, not just your role as a spouse. When your sense of worth relies entirely on your spouse's approval, it can create emotional imbalance and pressure. Number 3, support each other's individual callings. Encourage each other's dreams, careers, and spiritual callings. Make space for both voices to be heard and valued. Number 4, set healthy boundaries. Say no when necessary. Communicate your needs clearly and give each other freedom without guilt. Boundaries help protect your emotional, spiritual, and mental well-being. Number 5, grow together but not at the cost of self. Share life goals but also honor your unique contributions to the relationship. Interdependence is healthier than codependence. Unity does not mean losing individuality. It means choosing to move forward side by side. This has been Real Asian Tips on Identity in Marriage. And my name is Joyce Andeso.
Amazing Real Asian Tips by Joyce Andeso. Those are very amazing tips that we have echoed throughout the entire show. Okay? And I'm hoping that means breakdown. Yours is a bit more compact that, you know, you can pick them and use them in your everyday interactions, okay? It's important for us to make sure that we maintain our identity even in marriage. Do not lose yourself. Do not lose yourself to marriage. Retain your identity so that you can be able to fulfill God's purpose in your life. Kila mtu ako created for purpose. Yes, marriage is part of the plan as well, but also there's something that God has put in you, and if you lose yourself, you might not be able to achieve it, okay? Now, Miriam, as we are winding up the show, maybe you can share with us your parting shot concerning the topic of identity in marriage.
My parting shot will be, it's possible to build your identity while you're still in marriage. Speaking from experience, it is really possible. Speaking to men, please be flexible with your women. Let's not see our women climbing ladders high and we start becoming jealous of them. It's not for her, but it's for you as a family. Also remember that this is a child of God, and their lives are still moving in the purposes of God. So be very careful not to be what? To be the stumbling block or to oppose your partner from moving where God has called them to move. And you are not the determinant, because God is the one who knows your partner and is the one who created your partner and knows where your partner is moving. So I really want to say it's really possible to do what? To build your identity while you're still in marriage. And that will only come if you know who you are, you know what you have been called for, and you work towards that. If you feel like to some point it's not possible and things are not moving the way you want, it's okay to take a pause. It's okay to take a pause and reflect and just see where things not working the way they should, and then pick it up again from there, and then move on. But remember, when we get to heaven, you are accountable.
Wow.
Yes.
Amazing. That's an awesome, awesome parting shot. Even as we are coming to the end of the show, maybe for anyone who would like to reach you, you can share your social media platforms so that they can reach you.
Yeah. You can follow me on my Facebook channel, Miriam Wanjiko. And then we also have a Facebook page, The Manasses Official. It's called The Manasses Official. In YouTube, you can find us in The Manasses. Just search The Manasses. You'll find we sing there. We have content on marriage and all kind of things. Also on Instagram, you'll find me at The Manasses. Yeah. So that's it. And God bless you.
Wow, amazing. Thank you so much for coming. This was a very, very amazing show. And it has been an opportunity for us to learn so much about identity in marriage and how to make sure that you remain with your identity, despite the fact that now you'll have a shared purpose, you'll have a shared, a common goals that bring you guys together, that you also need to focus on yourself as well. Do not neglect that bit of you showing up for yourself.
True.
Amazing. So maybe as we wind up, we can get Did You Know, so that we can know what amazing fact you're sharing with friends and family and colleagues today, even as we finish up. And what do we have on Did You Know? Leo inasema butterflies in the stomach are real. Okay. And they're actually caused by adrenaline. See anxiety tena? Anyway. Butterflies in the stomach are real and they are actually caused by adrenaline. That's a very interesting fact right there that you can share with friends and family. I thought butterflies were anxiety. That is, you know, anyway. Hiyo ilikuwa yangu personal. But this is a nice fact.
You know.
Yeah, now I know. It's actually adrenaline that is causing the butterflies in your stomach. So amazing fact, share with friends and family and colleagues depending on where you are. And that brings us to the end of the show today. Trust and hope it was impactful. Na tulisema si kusikiza tu na kuacha hivyo, but implement so that it can be impactful. It's to ni story, no. For it to work, you have to implement it, okay? Share it with as many people as you can. And kwenye uko, make sure that you compliment someone. It goes a long, long way. You don't know. Kuna mtu mahali alikomplimentiana and huo msee mwenye alikomplimentiwa was on their way to commit suicide and they changed after that compliment. So Compliment people out there. Jasima udanganye, just compliment them, okay? Amazing. So enjoy the rest of your viewing. Tuachana chance, your request hour. Whatever song that you have, send it and you'll get a chance to hear it right here, live on air, okay? But for now, enjoy the rest of your viewing. My name is Sylvia Wanja. See you next week, God willing. But for now, bye-bye.